What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Real Deal Sports. It's only two of us tonight, but Walt will be back for the next one. So, my good brother John, how you been, man? How's everything?
I'm good. I'm in North Carolina, and I
Okay.
was hoping for some warmer weather, and instead we just got a rainstorm and a bunch of. But I'm good, man. It's good.
I'll get you a Carolina Blue jersey while you're down there. Best time to do it. You might find one for cheap. I mean,
Now,
not
you talking about the Panthers or the Tar
no,
Heels?
the college.
Nah, I do like the Panthers, man. I ride with the Panthers, but
Get you a Carolina Tar Heel
no,
jersey. Get you a Michael Jordan.
no, not happening, not happening.
Why?
Although, hey, I will say I've seen a lot of players wearing 45 lately. Number obviously the I'm spacing on the name right now, but lady from LSU.
Yeah.
Obviously Davion, Donovan Mitchell. I've seen a lot of fans wearing the throwback 45 Michael Jordan Bulls. Like that 45 is coming back, man. People trying to make that number famous again.
True. Very true. Very true.
It ain't 23, but it's a special number.
Here you go. Okay, switching gears.
Well, he ain't getting 45 retired like Kobe did 8 and 24. Jordan got one. He didn't.
I mean, he didn't play in 45 as long as Kobe played in 8 or 24.
So, but I'm saying it's still a special number, even though he ain't played in it that long.
Yeah, same thing with the number 12. He played in that maybe once or twice. But since we're on the subject of the association, we got to talk about John's favorite player,
Oh,
Luka Doncic, and also John's favorite player, Kyrie Irving. Tim Hardaway Sr., father of Luka's current teammate, Tim Hardaway Jr.,
yeah.
has criticized Luka and Kyrie for saying they are not leaders. That is why the team is not doing as well as it should be. John, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think? What do you think about that comment? Does he have a point? Does he not have a point? Is it just out of frustration as a parent of a player? What do you think?
He says that Jalen Brunson is a real leader, and maybe he is. Maybe we'll find out that Jalen Brunson's some great down the road. I mean, he's showing obviously a lot of potential already, but still he's not the current leader of his own team yet. But he could turn into that guy. I'm gonna give Dallas one more excuse. This is my last one. I'm gonna give him one more out though, because here's the thing: a lot of the great big threes or big twos or whatever we've seen the last decade or so, they did not mesh. LeBron and his crew, Wade and them, it took them 20, 30 games to get going. It took him and Kyrie and Love 20, 30 games to get going. It took the Celtics a little while to get going. It took so you had Kyrie and Doncic trying to mesh over 15 games, and like that's just not a lot of time for them to mesh. It actually threw off the rhythm of the team. The team was, I believe, a 6 seed or 7 seed when he came there.
Mm-hmm.
But I still didn't like what they did tonight. I didn't like that they sat the starters and said they pulled the plug on the season. I didn't like that. Like leave it up to chance, man. Like if Thunder go out and win tomorrow, then fine. You sit them the last game of the season. But man, you go out and play. You play to win the game. Like that's a it's a great the famous quote. So I just didn't like what they did tonight. I like to think that he's kind of correct in that. Maybe real leaders say, bro, we're doing it. Like we're going out there and playing. But I also didn't like that they shut down Christian Wood so early. He was one of their best offensive threats all season. The second Kyrie gets there, or even before Kyrie got there, they pretty much shut down Christian Wood. I saw a game the other day where he was like 3 for 3 over like 6 minutes, and they didn't play the rest of the game. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? Like I don't understand. I'm not really sure. Jason Kidd's got some questions to answer, so I'm not blaming anyone yet. I blame Kidd a little bit, but I just think that Kyrie and Luka didn't mesh right away, and that happens, man. It happens all the time. So I'm gonna give him one last excuse. But this is the last one, man. I really am done. I'm done making excuses for this couple.
Yeah. Um, for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, I agree with you 100%. You know, Jalen Bronson, he has left, and the team he went to is now in the playoffs.
Yeah,
The team he left isn't. It's as simple as that. Now, does New York have more around him than Dallas? You could say that. Do they have a bigger name in New York than they do in Dallas?
no,
No. But, they just have a better team. That's what it comes down to, better team. But I think, in this case, it's almost like a starting receiver or a starting tight end being traded mid-season. Yeah, you're not going to look that productive because you don't really have chemistry. Let's see what an off season looks like. Now, in Kyrie case, he's a free agent, correct? Or
yeah,
something like, yeah. So, maybe Cuban gives him one of those 2-year deals just to see how it works after 2 years. And then if it ain't doing what it's supposed to, it's 2 years and you're done. See if somebody else will resign you. But I think that's really what it comes down to because basketball is a little different than football, but it's actually the same. You need chemistry. That's something they don't have. Two very ball dominant players and a team of, I ain't gonna call them nobodies, but a team of of a good support system if you learn how to use them the right way.
yeah.
And I think that's the problem. I think it is what it is in Dallas. I'm just happy I'm not Cuban or whoever the general manager is to have to make that decision because you don't. Kyrie Irving is not, a player to his caliber is not available every year. But at the same time, let's say hypothetically you do sign him again and you start the season 5-15 because you do have you can't defend. Kyrie has never been known as a defender. Neither is Luka. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes going forward. I think that's the best way to put it. You just gonna have to give him a 2-year deal. Hopefully you can bring in some other people to help, surround them with more talent and go from there.
Yeah. I don't think Kyrie's ever been accused of being a leader, and I'm not saying he hasn't had moments where he showed potential as a lead, but he's a spark plug. He comes, he doesn't come off the bench. He starts, but he's a Jamal Crawford. He can come out. He can all of a sudden he'll be 0 for 6, and then boom, boom, boom. He'll hit 4 straight for you at big times of the game. He hits big shots late. He can do that kind of stuff. So I think the pressure is more on Luka to be the leader. I mean, it is his team, so he's got to show that he is the leader. But I just didn't like all the shakeups that Jason Kidd did. With I don't know. I didn't like the way they played Christian Wood. Maybe it's my personal opinion. Who knows? We'll see. But maybe they did the right move. But yeah, I agree. I think Kyrie's did not put on paper, score wise, sure, he scored a lot of points, but the win column, he did not put on paper anything that would make a championship caliber team be like, yeah, we got to go get that guy. I think his best option is to try to sign an extension down there in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's just gonna be interesting to see going forward. But good luck to them next year if they re-sign them, and good luck to them if they don't. It's just really one
They
of
still
those.
need that defensive guard on the perimeter. They need that
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins. They need someone out there who will go out and defend. And I agree with that.
That you do. That you do. Now, switching gears here from Dallas to Philadelphia, Doc Rivers has come out in his recent post-game interview and said Embiid is the obvious MVP. I'm gonna start with you again, my brother John. What is your take on it?
Yeah, he said he's the obvious MVP because he scored half of his team's points the other day.
True.
Is that actually him saying that this team sucks?
Because what they score 103 and he had
52, yeah. Is that really sounds like him saying my team sucks and it's not my fault we're losing, or not say we're not losing. I mean,
his fault that they're losing.
They're third in the East, but it just kind of sounds like it wasn't so much a shot at look, I got one dude, what I mean, it was great. It sounded also like, hey man, I ain't working with a lot here, so let's calm down. Let's not set the. It's almost like he's trying to say, don't set the expectation too high for me either.
Right.
You got James Harden. I don't think he's getting the most out of those guys though. And it could be on them, but Tobias Harris, he's just not doing what Tobias Harris is getting paid to do at all.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. So if he's not scoring, he's not doing anything else that's worth the money they're paying him. Right. So I don't like Tobias Harris got to pick it up, got to figure something out. Tyrese Maxey, on the other hand, dude's really stepped up, played some big minutes, big roles, big shots. And
even James Harden, he comes and goes a lot.
Yeah, he's streaky. He gets his assists, but he's if he's hot or if he's cold from the three, he's just not going to drive. He's not getting his calls like he used to. They changed some of the rules. They don't get them calls, and ever since then, James Harden's offense has taken quite a dip. Especially because if you're a guy who takes scores 10 free throws a game, and you're not getting them calls, 30 points turns into 20 real quick. And so I don't disagree. I think Joel Embiid has a very strong argument for MVP. I don't think that one game was the argument. That was not the nail in the coffin to close the debate. Like that, that was a great game, and it definitely helped his pitch. If anything, Jokic sitting the last 4 or 5 since playing against the 76ers has definitely helped his bid. But just that one game alone and scoring half your team's points, no, I don't think that's the ceiling factor. But I am Team Embiid over Jokic, if you're wondering.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you this, right? One player is averaging 33, 10, and 4. The other one is averaging 25, 12, and 10. Just based off those stats, who would you say is having a better season?
Well, you know me. I go scoring every time. It's easier to go from 5 points to 10 points than it is to increase your scoring from 10 to 15, right? Mm-hmm. Every 5 points gets harder and harder.
Yeah.
Right? So even though he's only 8 points ahead of Jokic, those points, 25 to 33, are very hard to get. By the way, they want to talk about, Jokic doing a triple-double. First off, he's not even averaging triple-double. He's about to get 9.8 assists and misses triple-doubles. He didn't even get the triple-double for the season. But let's just say he does. Joel Embiid is the only center to lead the league in scoring to have this high of scoring for the season since the merger. Since Wilt Chamberlain to do this.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, Jokic is doing some historic things, but when you compare Jokic to what he's doing, you have to look at, all right, who are the guys getting triple doubles? Let's see, Ben Simmons, Russell Westbrook. All right, guys I really like, big fans of. Now, who is Embiid in company with this 33 points per game? Who's that? Well, let's see, Kobe, Jordan, James Harden. Just those three. Like that, those since the merger, those are the only 3 guys that score as many points per game as he is. So I just when you say Kobe, Jordan, and when other guys like Russell Westbrook, it's a big difference.
Oscar Robinson.
True, but I'm talking about in the last whatever, since all the NBA rule changes and all this stuff, like all the scoring stuff. I'm just saying yes, he's doing some incredible things. But again, he's not even averaging a triple double. So no, you can't put him with Oscar Robinson.
So I wonder, hypothetically, if you take away the 52, what would his average be? Because look at that.
It doesn't go up that much. It goes up about one. It goes up about.
Would it drop about
0.75 points per game?
Because two of the 1, 2, 3,
About 0.7 points per game. It goes up about 0.7 points per game is what that does.
So 8 of his last 9, he's had. Well, all right. So 2 of his last 8, he had 52 and 46. Other than that, he's averaging maybe about 24, 25. If you take away the 2, although you can't take them away, of course, but he had 21, 28, 25, 25, 28, 12. And I'm not counting the games he didn't play, of course. But it's interesting. But I do think, the NBA, it's I'm not saying Nurkic is the best, but you can't give it to one guy 3 years in a row. Especially because I think
unless it's unanimous. Like if it's unanimous, this dude is.
I don't think it's unanimous.
Right, I was saying it's not unanimous this year, but that's my point. Is like if he was a unanimous MVP, you got to give it to him. You just have to. If he was doing what Russell Westbrook actually did, 30-point triple-double, unanimous. If he was doing what Oscar Robertson did and actually got the triple-double, maybe you give him unanimous. But he's not even the best record in the country. I think he might be tied with Philadelphia, actually.
What a record. Yeah.
Right. And Milwaukee and Boston are both ahead of him. So he's not the leading team. He's not doing the triple-double. He's still short of the triple-double unless he pulls out I don't even know what he had to pull out, like a 20-assist game in his last game or something, like to pull it off. Yeah. And then he's not actually doing the 30-point triple-double like Westbrook did. And there's a big argument that Westbrook didn't deserve it either. But I'm just saying.
I think to that point, though, like with Westbrook, he was like a 6'2", 6'3" guard, averaging triple.
Yeah, but it wasn't just a triple-double. If he had 20, 10, and 10, he would not have won it. I don't think he would have won it. Even as credible as it was, I don't think he would have won it. But averaging 30, 10, and 10, that's what set him apart.
That's what I'm saying. I would say his size had a lot to do because it's like, bro, you're averaging 10 rebounds and you're a 6'2" guard with Steven Adams and Grant all on that team. You got bigs. It ain't like you Golden State, when Draymond your tallest guy in most cases. But I commend Joker for what he's doing, but I think at this point you've had Joe too. You got somebody else got to.
You're not top 10. Yeah,
somebody else is having a better season. That's really what it's coming down.
Yeah, you're not top 10 in scoring. We see you okay. I understand chasing. I get it. Players do it all the time. I'm not gonna criticize a player for chasing, but this team almost without any of their starters almost beat the Suns the other day. Like the Nuggets aren't bums without Jokic, and so yes, he's having a nice season, but you're not top 10 in scoring. I'm sorry. I look at the other guys who are leading the league in assists, and a lot of the league leaders in assists lately have been James Harden, Russell Westbrook. Like, that's the company you're in. Assists are overrated. Everyone knows it at this point. And, unless you're actually putting up assists that change the pace of the game, like a Chris Paul, when he, how the way he used to run the offense, then assists are just fake stats. They really are. Like, for the most part, they're just the fact that Chris Paul the other day could just have 0 assists because he chose to. Like, he just decided, I'm not passing the ball. And that's the thing, is they can turn it on and turn it off at any point. You know what you can't turn on and turn off at any point? Scoring. To score 33 points a game for a whole season is crazy. And that's nothing you can't just take. You can't just turn it on and turn it off. Like, you got to be good in and out. Assists, you can get lucky, man. You can just and get some assists. And a lot of players are doing it, man. We see a lot of players just racking up. I love Dinwiddie. I'm a big fan of Dinwiddie. Dude, he had like 20 the other night. 20 is like, and like 5 points.
Harder to get more than anything because the person you're
Scoring's through the roof. The assists are out of
no, but what
control.
I'm saying is the person you're passing to has to actually make the shot.
Yeah, but scoring is out
So
of
it's
control.
that's the one thing you can get, but it's not depending on you. It's depending on the person you're passing it to.
I'll say this: even though scoring is out of control, we still don't see players doing what Embiid is doing. Like
No,
a
I'm not
single
saying
player.
it is, but I
So,
do think
but we see a lot of players doing what Jokic is doing with the assists. A lot. There's a lot of players. Sabonis is just racking up 14 the other night.
he
You
got
see
some
it all the time.
shooters. He got some shooters though. We gotta get. They got some
Well,
shooters.
yeah, they're one of the best off. Keegan Murray just broke the rookie record
Yeah.
for 3-pointers in the season. But it's a long story. There's a long debate, and I'm not saying who is or isn't. Personally, for me, Embiid over Jokic. But I'm just saying also back to what Doc Rivers said, that game is not the deciding factor.
I
There's
will
more,
say this,
more
though.
to it than that one game.
I will
Jokic
say
still has a strong argument.
Nurkic. Joker. If you win it again, you ain't you if you win it again and you get not even close to the Western Conference Finals, the season is they're just giving it to you at this point. Like, come on, bro, and that's for both of them.
I kind of feel like he's trying to. I kind of feel like sitting the rest of the season, he's kind of throwing the MVP on purpose. I kind of feel like he is trying to throw it.
Why? Because he don't want that pressure.
No, well, maybe that, but also like he's just tired of like being criticized for having MVPs. I think the Nuggets are going to be great. I think people are not ready for what they're about to do in the playoffs. But I also think Jokic is just like, dude, you know what? Screw your MVP. Like, y'all going to hate on me for winning MVPs. I think he's kind of throwing it, but we'll see. If he still wins it after sitting the last 6 games of the season, all right.
All right. Well, next topic. Angel Reese has now accepted Jill Biden, the First Lady of the White House. They have accepted, or they will accept the invitation to come to the White House for being the national champions in women's college basketball. I think just the whole thing was, sometimes it's like, look, you got to talk to somebody before you just start tweeting stuff. Now, in the history of sports, the runner-up has never been invited to the White House.
I don't think so.
I don't know. The only time the runner-up might have been invited is if you win in like a Medal of Honor. And even your whole team ain't being invited. It's just that one person. So it's like, come on, First Lady. What are you doing?
And she's the smart one in that relationship, right? In that marriage, huh?
I'm not doing it with you. Nope, you're not gonna put me in that one. But yeah, man, she just gotta be smarter. And then my thing is, if you invite them, you gotta invite every other sore loser.
Yeah, right. Why not invite third place while you're at it?
Yeah, like now you gotta invite all the losers in the championship.
Invite the referees.
Now you gotta invite San Diego State. You gotta invite TCU. They lost to Georgia.
Yeah.
You gotta invite, like, come on, bro. What are you doing? You gotta invite the Eagles. You gotta invite whoever's about to lose in the NBA Finals this year. It's just a bad look if you only invite that one team. And you can't say it was a great game when the winner won by 17. What was great about the game? They led the whole game.
It had its moments. It definitely had its moments.
The beginning, all right, the beginning. But after, like,
no, they made a really good comeback there, late third, early fourth. They cut it all the way to 6.
Okay,
they cut it all the way. They cut it to 5. I think they cut it to 5 at one point.
Did you ever think that game would become in Iowa's favor?
No, but that's because I was heavy LSU from the start. I was always heavy LSU. I like LSU's style better. I like their team. I like how deep their team is. I like a lot of reasons about LSU, which is why we picked them. But
yeah, and Walt was the lone survivor there. Well, he didn't.
I will say that I did think the referee was lopsided early on. I think they were letting LSU play. And I said that. I
uh,
said, hey, if LSU is allowed, because you know what? Caitlin Clark loves the Kobe push-off. She loves that move. And she gets away with it. She's been doing it since high school. She's been doing it since like 8th grade. She's been pushing off the Kobe push-off. They finally called it. They finally said, no, you ain't doing that. They called it on her twice. They got her in foul trouble. They fouled out her big. They put 3 or 4 of her players in foul trouble early on, including her. When Caitlin Clark was on the floor, Iowa was the better team versus Angel. She was, but what happened was LSU's bench showed up. One of them came up with 21 points. I forget what.
about Jasmine Carter.
Not Carter, but
off the bench.
Yeah, not Carter. What I forget her name, but
no, that was her. She had 22.
I don't think her name was Carter.
Let me see.
Anyway, but yeah, I know you're talking about blonde chick. She had a great game. Man, I'm really spacing on names right now. Wow. Like Andre Iguodala said, number 45 is nice. But number 45, big shots. I mean, those 2 shots in the lane to just ice the cake. I know they were up at that point and whatever, but to just kill any momentum Iowa had late.
Jasmine Carson.
Thank you. Yeah, Carson. And then of course, help me out number 45's name when you get it. But
Morris.
Yeah, Alexis Morris. Yes.
Yeah.
Alexis Morris, big shots down the stretch, clutch, just, all across the board. So I will say this, because this was my overreaction of the week. Here we go. Overreaction of the week. What's that dude, Lieberman? Something Lieberman?
Yeah, when he came out with that
Keith
crazy.
Oberman? I don't know. Whatever. Keith something. When he said Angel Reese is a idiot, there is a chance that is 100% true. In this aspect, here's my overreaction of the week. And I think Angel Reese is one of the best players we're about to see, because when she's a great player, but you better hope you get on a good team. You know why? Because you didn't carry LSU by yourself. You had a great team, deep bench. You got a little help from the refs, and a lot of things went right. But when you were one-on-one with Caitlin Clark, you got bested. So for you to go head up with Caitlin Clark and say, I didn't beat Iowa, we beat Caitlin Clark. That only speaks to the greatness of Caitlin Clark. That doesn't speak to the greatness of Angel Reese. It speaks to the greatness of LSU and Caitlin Clark, because when Caitlin Clark, did the John Cena whatever, it was kind of like when Carson hits the
Tony
3.
Yayo, to be exact. But Tony Yayo did it first, but go ahead.
Okay. You know more about wrestling than me or whatever.
No, Tony Yayo is a rapper, man.
I don't. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I know. I didn't know who you said. I just thought you were talking about wrestling still. But when she did it, right, it was the game ends. I do this, end. But to follow someone around the court for 8 seconds, trying to get in front of their face, oh, I'm over here. Like, it's like you are admitting we didn't beat Iowa. We beat one player. And that only speaks to the greatness of Caitlin Clark. That does not speak to your personal greatness. It speaks to LSU's greatness and Caitlin Clark's. It just diminishes you. Secondly, you better hope when you get to the WNBA that you are on a good team. Because if not, you better either carry your team, because we know one thing, Caitlin Clark is going to carry a team. Angel Reese, you better do the same, because you know what's going to happen when you get there? Caitlin Clark is going to have a lot more of them shots, and you're going to have a lot more times where you're going to see this. But I'm a big Angel Reese fan. I believe in her. I believe that she's too quick for most of the players in the WNBA. I think we're going to see her scoring.
You think she's too quick for the players in the WNBA?
For a lot of the bigs, yeah. If she's playing, yeah, for sure. I think she's too quick for a lot of the bigs. So I think she's going to have great game down low, even against the bigs in the league, even if they're bigger than her. I think she's going to be great because she's just too quick for them. But still, you can't count on getting carried in the WNBA. You can't count on the refs. You can't count on none of that stuff. And Caitlin Clark's going to be there. I love this beef. I hope it carries over. I think they're going to squash
it. Ain't no beef.
I think they're going to squash it. I agree with you. I think
even said it. She was like, bruh.
I think it's nothing.
Lost.
But I hope it carries over. It's going to be great. I would love to see these two go at it for the next 12 years in the WNBA. But, yeah, it's just my own reaction. I think there is a shot that she could come back to regret that. But I don't think it's going to happen. So, in that instance, Keith, whatever his name is, or Kevin, I don't know, whatever. He's a goofy.
Well, I think Keith and David Portnoy, the founder of Barstool, I think, they both.
Okay, but Portnoy's always been a goofy.
No, but, like, come on, dog. You don't say that to no
college. Right, but that's like acting like you're surprised when the village drunk is drunk. Like, Portnoy's always a goofy. He's that guy who, if you're up 18 and you go dunk at the end of the game, he thinks you're, like, classless and all that. It's like, nah, you might be like, all right, come on, that's not cool, but classless. Like, it's not like I ran my neighbor's dog over and like, come on, let's calm down. It's not like I robbed my neighbor's house or something. Like, classless is a far stretch. It's sports, bro. Calm down. Some of these guys overreact to late scoring when you're up. Like, yeah, I don't like running up the score, but it's not classless. Let's calm down. Flipping bets. Oh, it's so classless. I think we're all moving on from that group. That kind of thinking, and Portnoy clearly is one of those guys.
Man, it's bullshit. I don't care what you say. David Portnoy, bro, go sit down somewhere. Ain't nobody ask you. Him or Keith. And then the dumb thing about Keith, he comes back later. Oh, I didn't know about the situation between Caitlin. So why are you speaking on it if you didn't even know what was going on?
Well, he did say that. Keith did say that. He said, well, I think Caitlin's classless for doing it too. I disagree. When Carson, there was another lady who hit 2 big threes for LSU, and it wasn't Carson, but when she would hit them, she would do this, right? Mm-hmm. She would do the Dwayne Wade, the mellow 3 to the head. That was the same as Caitlin Clark's this. You're allowed one of those. You're allowed one, a reactionary moment, boom, boom. Following someone around the court is a different thing, though. We have to admit that is different. It's not classless. It's so goofy. I don't know where we're getting into all that. But it's not the same, man. You don't follow someone around. I mean, it is in its own sense goofy to follow somebody around the court trying to make sure they see you. Like, that sounds like some Dylan Brooke, Pat Bev stuff. Like, that's just, come on. It's just goofy nonsense. But at the same time, I liked it. I like it when Pat Bev goes and grabs the camera and brings it out to the ref. It's goofy. It's nonsense. But it's not classless. Like, I'm so tired of how easily we throw out words like classless.
But that's my point. Like, man.
Or look, unprofessional.
Just let these athletes be athletes. Stop always, want to put your 2 cents in. And it's a bad.
Some of these old guys, that's who they are. Like, I'm not going to.
Yeah, but get the hell out of here. Ain't nobody asked you for your 2 cents. Shut up. The world, not saying I wish anything on you, but the world would have been a better place if you didn't say nothing. Because, you didn't do nothing either way. You didn't do anything. You didn't help or hurt the situation. You just made yourself look even worse. And both of them.
Right. That's the thing. There it is. It has nothing to do with the actual player. It's all about self-promotion. They didn't actually care about the way Iowa was treated by Angel Reese. Let's just pretend Angel Reese had tripped a player and done some Zaza Pachulia stuff. They didn't actually even care about that level of stuff. They only cared about promoting themselves. And by the way, that is how these guys got famous. Yeah. Right? We talk about certain players, I'm not going to say, or certain people who they just talk trash all the time. That's how they got famous. There's a reason a lot of players don't go on their shows. They won't talk to them. They won't sit down and have an interview with them. because they just trash talk, and yeah, it made them famous. That's what they do. But yeah, I agree with you. There, that's the line right there. It's all about self promotion. It has nothing to do with the actual game. They could care less about the game.
Yeah, 100%. But
Like
you know, hey,
we're here to, but we
yeah,
also love the game. We love, I mean, look, KD's been watching Caitlin Clark play since I think she was in 8th grade, right?
but I'm
And so,
not. I'm not gonna lie to you. We should try to pop up when they go to like Northwestern or something. We should try to go. The ticket will be cheap because it's Northwestern. But
hey, them Iowa tickets went through the roof though.
yeah, I mean for their home games, yeah. But I don't think
They
when
they had to halt season ticket things because people were buying them on the cheap, and they were like, whoa, we haven't had time to raise the prices yet, and they halted season ticket prices, and so that they have time to raise them so they can make some more money this coming year. So.
wow. Well, hey, we may be seeing Caitlin Clark up close and personal, first person, personal view, however you want to put it. We may be seeing her this coming fall, when she goes to, when they play Northwestern or even Illinois. We might take Real Deal Sports on a road trip. We will let you all know. But for me and John and Walt, we tell you guys we'll see you later. Thank you for viewing. Please like, share, subscribe. Subscribe.
Comment.
Subscribe. Comment and share.
Comment.
We need it all. So we can give you more dope content. And we appreciate you guys.
Hey, LeBron. Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah. Hey, I can't say a name, but allegedly a very famous person just told me y'all should subscribe to the channel. So
right, yeah.
I can't say who. Can't say who was on the phone
famous person
there.
say it. Why can't
you? Yeah, right. I can't say who it was on the phone there, but y'all didn't overhear nothing, did you? I can't say who it was.
Of course not.
He says subscribe.
But thank you guys for coming, and we'll see you all next time.